Hello, this is Factor X from pixelsmashers.com, and today we're reviewing the Nexus 7 from Asus and Google. Alright, so while I'm opening it here, let's talk about some of the specs. It has 1 GB of RAM, a 7-inch 1280 by 800 IPS display, a 1.2 megapixel camera on the front. There is no rear-facing camera. It also has a gyroscope, an accelerometer, GPS, and Bluetooth capabilities. So here it is. Let's just take off the film here. It's also important to note that the Nexus 7 only weighs 0.7 pounds compared to the Kindle Fire, which weighs 0.91 pounds. So the Nexus 7 is actually lighter than the Kindle. Let's also not forget the main component of the Nexus 7, which is the Tegra 3 1.2 GHz quad-core processor, and there actually is a 5th core there that handles less demanding tasks in order to consume less power when the other cores are not needed. Alright, so let's take a look at the back side. You have a nice rubber finish there, so your hands don't slip and slide all over the back there. And on the side we have the power button and volume buttons. And on the bottom we have the audio jack as well as the micro USB, and the other side is blank, same with the last one. Alright, before we continue, let's take a look at what's inside the rest of the box. We have the warranty information as well as the quick start guide, which I'm not going to read right now. And here's the micro USB cable, which you also plug in to the AC adapter to charge the device. And here's a comparison to the HP touchpad and iPod Touch. The HP touchpad has a 9.7-inch screen, and again the Nexus 7 has a 7-inch screen. So you can see the Nexus 7 falls in between. So on the touchpad I have ice cream sandwich, and as you can see the interface rotates when you turn the tablet. But on the Nexus 7, their main home interface does not rotate when you turn the tablet to the side or even upside down here. However, in applications, there is a way to unlock this screen so you can rotate it, at least when you're viewing websites or other applications. And here I am looking at our website, pixelsmashers.com. And again, we'll rotate it back just to show you. So another issue I kind of had with the device was the power button here. It's placed really close to the volume buttons, and sometimes I actually found myself pressing the power button by mistake when trying to change the volume. Now if you look at the touchpad, it has the volume buttons raised out slightly more. It's easier to find, and on the top you have that separate power button that's also raised up a bit more. So this is just a minor issue I've noticed when using the Nexus 7 compared to the touchpad. So here's NVIDIA's tech demo called Global that shows off the power of the Tegra 3. And as you can see, there's a lot of reflections going on and some particles here and there, as well as some dynamic lighting. So it actually ran pretty smoothly and shows off the power of the system. So the Nexus 7 has Jelly Bean, which is Android 4.1, Google's new update to the Android platform, and currently it does lack some applications such as HBO Go, which you can see here on the touchpad running. I did manage to get HBO Go working with the Nexus 7. Since Jelly Bean does not support Flash, I had to do some workarounds. You can manually download Flash and use the Dolphin browser to actually view HBO Go. Now their new version of the Dolphin browser doesn't support Flash, but if you download the older version, 8.5, which I'll post a link in the description to, you could still view HBO Go on your tablet. However, it is rather glitchy, so you're going to have to just kind of cope with it until HBO and Cinemax and Epix and all that stuff gets an app for the Nexus 7 tablet. Alright, so let's take a look at the battery life of the Nexus 7. They claim 8 hours, which I did see. I did have some issues with the battery indicator though, so you might see it jump around. Like you look on the bottom right, it says 16 hours. That's just wrong. But in terms of browsing performance, let's take a look. And Nexus 7 is pretty fluid in terms of browsing compared to Ice Cream Sandwich. I did notice, however, if you pinch in really fast or zoom really fast, you still get some of those black borders that just pop in there. So I would like them to work on something to correct that. But I also like how when you press on a link or something, it pops up, and since it's really small, you're able to just click on it that way. Again, let's take note of the new notification system. On Ice Cream Sandwich, it was on the bottom right. And on the Nexus 7 with Jelly Bean, it's on the top. Now, some people who've rooted the device were able to change the DPI and get a tablet interface. Continuing on, let's take a look at the YouTube application, which is actually really great. I found it to be very smooth, and it's a great substitute for not having access to the Flash website from your browser. Let's take a look at a quick video here. You only have an HQ option through the application, though. You can't like select 1080p or 720p manually. But as you rotate it, it does pop into full screen there. The image quality was pretty good, and I did notice some clipping with the audio, but overall it was the speakers are pretty good. It's also important to note that the Nexus 7 does not have a micro SD card slot, so the 8GB or 16GB version in this video is all you're going to get. However, there is some cloud storage with Google Drive, or you can also use Dropbox. The Android 4.1 Jelly Bean update also has something called Google Now, which basically gives you relevant information to your area, such as traffic updates. Overall, the Nexus 7 is definitely a great tablet, and it's definitely a tablet I would recommend. Alright, so that's our review of the Google Nexus 7 tablet. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and visit our website at pixelsmashers.com. Thanks for watching.